My friends, how are you? I hope you're having a wonderful day today. Always good to see you for yet another video. So today, my friends, we have absolutely tragic news. Possibly the saddest story ever told on YouTube. So I hope you're sitting down. I hope you have a Kleenex or a tissue with you so you can dry your tears, because I'm about to tell you the saddest story that's ever existed in the history of the internet. Are you ready? Take a deep breath. Here we go. My friends, we have greatly offended Maga once again. Oh, they're here, baby, and they are real mad at us. And they are real upset because we have come together as a community. We've made our voices heard. We've stood up for ourselves. We've stood up for what's right instead of what's standing up for wrong. And that's really frustrating to Maga out there, because they're finally starting to realize maybe we're a little bit of a threat to their fascism. And that's really starting to bother them. And I don't mean me. I mean we collectively. First of all, huge congratulations to the Midas Touch Network, who has dethroned Joe Rogan last month as the most listened to podcast in the world. That's a big fucking deal, my friends. That is a huge deal. I'm not affiliated with Midas Touch, but it is very good to see people on our side finally getting ahead of all the propaganda, getting in front of it and doing big things for the rest of us out there. But also us, as a community. All these channels spread out across YouTube that are speaking common sense, that are standing up for themselves finally, because that is something that has been missing on the left for a long time, is people with a backbone and a spine to stand up for what's right and wrong. I remember when I started this channel, I was desperately waiting for somebody in my truck. I don't know why I just said that. I have no idea why that came out of my mouth. What I meant to say is I was in my truck desperately waiting for a guy like me to come along and start a YouTube channel. And then one night it occurred to me, I'm a guy like me. As a matter of fact, I'm the most like me of any other guys out there. So that's how I ended up starting this channel, because I realized I'm a guy like me. The point of today's video is we have greatly offended Maga yet again. They are coming out in force to show us how sad they are. And boy, are they some fucking crybabies. They cry all the goddamn time. This is the most sensitive fucking Nazi movement I've ever seen in my life. I've never seen so many people throwing up their little Nazi salutes and then crying about their fucking feelings all the time. But that is where we're at, my friends, today in America. So, we're going to talk today about who exactly Maga is, understanding who and what we're up against. Look, I am qualified to speak on this, my friends. I'm from the country. I'm a truck driver. I've been surrounded by people that were going to be Maga my entire life, because the Maga movement existed long before Maga existed. This has been something in the process for years and years. These are the people I grew up around, okay? So we're going to talk about who they are exactly and what they are. And that's going to be the point of the video. Real quick before we get into that, thank you to everyone that's helping to support the channel. We've got quite a few new channel members coming in. We've had a few super thanks come in over the last few videos, and I wanted to say thank you for everyone that's helping this channel grow. We have passed our first 25,000 subscribers, and we ain't stopping there, baby. So check the pinned comment. There you will find the information for the Discord if you want to join our community there. You will find the channel membership information, and you will find my Blue Sky link, where I've also passed 1,000 followers over there. That's pretty cool too, isn't it? So today I want to talk about who exactly Maga is and the people that we are going up against as we continue to put up our fight finally. And I want to say, I'm proud of fucking all of us out there. For years, they have been pushing us around, telling us that we're nothing but crybabies, we're weak, whining liberals, and it turns out they were the bitches the entire time, but that's okay. We're getting through it. So the first observation I want to make about who Maga is these are some of the laziest pricks I've ever met in my life. And look, I'm going to back that up with actual information, observations, things that I have seen out here. For one, if you don't have what it takes to survive in life, if you don't have that fighting spirit, that fire in your belly to get up and go after your goals, here's the easiest thing you can do in life to fucking make it not your fault anymore. Blame other groups. That's a staple of the MAGA movement now, isn't it? That's their biggest thing. They love blaming other people for their downfalls. If it's not the Mexicans taking up all their good jobs, then it's all the DEI hires still taking up all their good jobs. Nowhere along the line have they put two and two together and went, fuck, I'm just an underachiever and I need to try harder? All they do is target other groups and blame them for why they're not where they want to be in life. Listen, I've heard it my whole life. I've heard it my whole damn life. You know, the Mexicans come here and they take our jobs away from us, son. They take our jobs, and then we get the scraps, we get what's left, which doesn't make any fucking sense. Listen, the guys out there working in those fields, the guys out there doing construction, any number of jobs, the meat packing plants, all these hard physical labor jobs, we didn't want those to begin with. Those are hard-working people. My back hurts just thinking about it. We didn't want those fucking jobs. We just wanted the excuse. We wanted to be able to say it was someone else that was causing our problem. That way we could not have to ever take any responsibility for it. And like I said, that's the staple of the MAGA movement, is being a lazy sack of shit. So goddamn lazy that you don't feel like you're in charge of your own destiny. You can't stand up and figure out what it is you want to do in life. So instead, you just blame other groups. That's the kind of people we're up against. Sad, isn't it? Yeah, it really is. But a very concerning part of this that I want to talk about is we have so many people in America right now that are lining up, my friends. They are lining up and cheering. What are they cheering for? Fascism. They're watching as a government comes in and starts taking away rights one by one, and they're standing there and they're cheering for it. Obviously, on the surface, that seems a little bit problematic. Now, for a while there, I was thinking, okay, they're just thinking that, and I'm not excusing this in any way, but they're just thinking, well, if they can start targeting the other groups that I don't like, that will be fine. You know, we got to get the Mexicans out of here. We got to get the black population in their place. You know, we got to make sure that we have the better jobs than them. We got to get the DEI hires out of the way so we can finally have the good jobs, right? And what's funny now is they're getting hit by it. That's shocking now, isn't it, that they're getting hit by it? No, we all saw that coming is the answer. But anyways, I'm trying to collect my thoughts here because I had a point with that. But we are witnessing people line up to have their rights taken away from them by the government. And they're cheering it on and they're celebrating it. Do you know why, in my honest opinion? Is because they're so weak. They don't have what it takes to be competitive in life. They are just begging for a government to take control and tell them what it is they're going to do. Tell them how much money they can make. Tell them what they can own. And if you think I'm fucking wrong, then look at all the farmers right now that are fucking losing their minds because they're going to lose their farms. They voted for this. They said, I want Donald Trump to come in here and I want him to, first of all, I want him to get rid of my migrant labor. You know, the other people that I exploit for cheap labor so that I can keep my farm alive. They asked for that to go away. And look, I would understand it if it was a humanitarian thing. Like, look, this country is taking advantage of people from poorer countries and we shouldn't do that anymore. That would be a good reason now, wouldn't it? Sure it would. But that's not how migrant labor is viewed. Migrant labor is viewed as cheap labor so we can keep our farms going. But they wanted that taken away from them. That doesn't make a whole lot of sense, right? And then if you go look at Project 2025, which I've looked at only a little bit, but I've gathered the bits and pieces that I need to from the internet, the farmland agriculture was in the plan the entire time to take away the land and get it sold off to big agriculture out there. And we know that JD Vance, he either owns or is a partner or part ownership in an app called Acre Trader, which helps investors buy up farmland. So if you had done a little bit of research, if you had read just a little bit, you knew all along as a farmer that the plan was to take your farm away. And you voted for it. So the only solution I can come up with that is that you wanted this to happen. You got tired of calling the shots on your own farm. You got tired of being the boss. You got tired of being the big dog out there. So what you wanted was a hostile government takeover by billionaires to come in and take your land in the hopes that you could just go back to being an employee. Because you didn't have what it takes to run that fucking place. You didn't have that fire in your belly. You didn't want to run it anymore. So you asked and you voted for the government to bankrupt your family farm that has been in your family for generations and generations. just because you didn't want to be the boss anymore. And if I'm wrong about that, then why did they vote for it? Why did they vote for the person that said that was going to happen to them? Doesn't make a whole lot of sense now, does it? So when I start saying these things out loud, I start figuring out exactly who MAGA is. Exactly what I said at the beginning of the video. The laziest people in our entire population. They don't want to work for what they have. Look, you see it all the time out here in trucking. Oh, heaven help you if you see a Middle Eastern trucker out here. We got a lot of Middle Eastern truckers. Boy, those white truckers are relentless, talking about how they're fucking up their lives. And they're doing all these things that are making their lives harder. And if they would just go away, everything would be better. Well, let me tell you from a trucker's perspective, I can't understand why there is a single trucker for Trump left. Only thing I can come up with is because they wanted to be an employee. They didn't want to be the boss anymore. Because under Donald Trump, with his failed administration, with his failed response to COVID, his crashing of the economy, his destruction of the supply chain, tens of thousands of independent truckers lost their business under Donald Trump. Do you know what that did? That kicked open the door to what the truckers refer to as mega carriers. Mega carriers, the large corporations out here that have 20, 30, 40,000 trucks. They can all run that truck at a lower cost because they're running so many of them. As an independent owner-operator, you need to run that truck at a higher cost because you have to take care of your bills at home. You have to take care of the payments for your truck. You have to take care of your truck repairs. So you demand a higher cost to keep your business running. So what Donald Trump did with his failed administration was put, I'd say tens of thousands, I don't have the numbers in front of me, at least thousands of independent truck drivers out of business, where they came back 4 years later and they celebrated. They said, I want Donald Trump. Bring back Donald Trump because life was good under Donald Trump. No, the fuck it wasn't. What was good about it, though? Are you guys starting to put this all together? Are you starting to see where I'm going with this? What was good about it is they no longer had to be in charge. They just needed someone to tell them what to do, and they were happy, content little employees. MAGA movement, Nazi movement as it may be, is the laziest, sloppiest Nazis we've ever seen in the history of fucking the world. They just want to be told what to do. They are begging for somebody to tell them what it is they need to do because they don't have the direction in their life to figure it out for them fucking selves. These guys can't even afford bootstraps to pull up. They don't have what it takes. And everything I've seen so far has led into exactly that. They just want the government to tell them what to do. That's it. That's where the fuck they're at. And there is no argument to that. We've been making them real grumpy, though, down there in the comments as they come here to say stupid shit to us over and fucking over. But there is no argument to that. They voted for that. Executive orders. Love them. Executive orders. How Donald Trump is trying to take away power from the other branches of government. They love it. When Donald Trump writes an executive order removing an amendment from the Constitution, which luckily is getting challenged in the courts, hopefully we fucking win that one, they love it. What are they asking for? A king. That's it. So America, unfortunately, is being dictated through the democratic process, apparently, by a bunch of people that just didn't want to think for themselves anymore. They wanted a king to tell them what to do. And that's exactly what the fuck all of us are getting. Look, I'll add more to it. Well, you thought I was done? You thought I had nothing more to add to this conversation and that it was all over? Elon Musk, the same dipshit that doesn't know the difference between $8 million and $8 billion, has now come out and told America he plans to give us $8,000 each. Tisk tisk, MAGA. This is bad news, and you need to pay attention to this. I don't know if that's true. Now the number's already in some sources reduced to 5,000, so it's already lost $3,000 of its value. MAGA has come to my comment section to tell me that if I don't like it, I can just give back that $5,000 check. Listen, you fucking welfare queens, MAGA, you don't understand what this money is. For one, first, I doubt we're going to see that money. If we do see that money, that's a whole other story. I doubt we're going to see that money, though. That money is going to continue to be a carrot on a stick for as long as possible, to keep your ass in line just waiting for that $5,000 check to come in. And I understand it. Hey, I'm broke too. $5,000, that's life-changing fucking money. We'll take that shit, won't we? Absolutely. Is it $5,000 per person? Hell, that's a fucking payday in a normal household right there, right? That's a good fucking day. That shit's gonna be a carrot on a stick. They're gonna dangle that in front of you for as long as they can just to keep your ass in line. That's what they're gonna do. Now, if they send it out, well, that's something else. You know what that $5,000 or $8,000 check is if they send it out? That is money to keep your ass in line. That's exactly what that is. Remember that time Donald Trump sent us $5,000? I love that fucking Donald Trump. And you're going to need that $5,000 because if you're a farmer, he's putting you out of business. If you're a trucker, independent trucker, he already fucking did. You're going to need that $5,000. So that's good shit. But that's exactly to put your ass in line. Because $5,000 to the average American is a lot of fucking money. You're only going to see it once. And then you're going to go broke after that, okay? So spend it wisely in the event that you get it. But they come here and they tell me about that. Aren't you excited to get your $5,000 check from Donald Trump? No, bitch. I can earn $5,000 all on my own. I'm not dependent on the government tit to fucking give me $5,000. I'll go make that shit all by myself, or I'll go without. Those are my fucking options. But the minute I run to the government to hand me $5,000, I wait for my $5,000 check. Oh boy, that's pretty pathetic now, isn't it? Kind of lends a little, kind of gives a little weight to my case now, doesn't it? We've got an entire population of lazy people that are lining up for government handouts. And they're coming here to tell me how excited I should be for my welfare check also. Hey, listen, I understand. And somebody's probably mad at me now. Listen, I'm half redneck, so words come out of my mouth wrong sometimes. I understand welfare is a good program. You have to understand the context in which I'm using it. This is a part I shouldn't be explaining, but one time I said welfare in a video and somebody jumped down my fucking throat and they said, welfare is a good program and you're being a fucking asshole. Welfare is a good program. It goes out to people that need it. Like survival, that's a very important thing. I got nothing against it, right? But you know who does have something against welfare? Maga. So if you can accuse them of grabbing up their government welfare, well, that's an effective thing to fucking say, all right? And if you're sitting around there waiting for that government check, well, you're just a little welfare queen is what you are at that point. The fuck you want me to tell you? And I got asked yesterday, when you get that $5,000 check then from Donald Trump, are you going to send it back? Probably not. I mean, I'll invest it in something. I might send half of it to a real candidate, you know, somebody that's going to oppose Donald Trump, somebody that's going to give back freedom in America where we can make our own choices and we can sink or fail all on our own. But I'm not going to continue to fucking support Donald Trump and fucking this guy that wants to take away all our freedom so that we're just obedient little boys doing what we're told to do, because I don't have that in me. I've spent my entire life failing over and over at a lot of things. You know why I fail at a lot of things over and over? Because I try a lot of things. That's why. I'm not afraid to fail. Fuck, I'll fail all kinds. I don't mind. I don't mind even a little bit. But I don't know if that check comes in exactly what I'm going to do with it. Not really sure. I'm not going to hand it back to Donald Trump. He's got plenty of money. I'm not going to hand it back to Elon Musk. He's got plenty of money. Maybe, though, I will find a way to contribute that to putting good, honest, working people in office. That's what I'll do. But if you're falling for this Donald Trump check that he's talking about, $5,000 or $8,000, I don't want to hear another word about what a hard-working person you are. Just say it. You want government handouts. And that's also evident. I got another point, don't I? Nah, I wasn't done. I wasn't done, was I? That is also evident that the farmers came back to vote for Donald Trump yet again after, I believe it was his soybean tariffs last time, fucked America's farmers, and Donald Trump gave them bailouts. They knew that. They've been farming their whole lives. They knew that it happened. So the only logical conclusion I can come to when it has to do with the farmers choosing to vote for Donald Trump again is they were hoping that he would crash their family farm once again and show back up with bailouts. So they would get that free money, so they wouldn't have to work for a living. Bad news this time. I don't think bailouts are coming because of J.D. Vance's Acre Trader app. I believe this is 100% the plan, and you will lose your farm over this. That's the point of this fucking video, my friends. We are living in a timeline where there is a huge portion of Americans that want to be Nazis, for one. But they also want to suck the tit of the United States government. And they are looking for those free handouts. And that's why they're so goddamn mad at us. Because we're over here on this side going, whatever happened to working for a living? Why else would you be so angry? I just don't know. Anyways, that's the video for today. Love you guys. Bye now.